Talking about horses, talking about the horse, can be simple or complex, difficult or easy. Similarly, many other antonyms could be formulated, given the large number of dimensions or fields from which an analysis of this species could be carried out. When we talk about horses, we can discuss aspects related to their management, aspects related to the diseases that affect this species. We can talk about an animal that has been useful for the development of humanity throughout its history, and for the development of different empires, civilizations, and cultures that had the horse as an indispensable tool for transportation, work, and war. It is even possible to approach an analysis of the equine species from the present era, where the highest degree of technification and specialization in horse breeding takes place in the field of various sports disciplines. Only within this field, we see that equines are very versatile animals, as they can be used for various specific sports purposes, such as racing, jumping, polo, to name just the most globally recognized equestrian sports activities. The versatility of equines is not limited to the sports aspect alone, as horses are currently used for alternative activities such as assisted therapy, also known as equine therapy or hippotherapy, with positive results in solving neuromotor and psychological problems. Just as in ancient times, horses accompanied humans in establishing civilizations as companion in war, currently, they continue to be an integral part of the life of people living in rural areas. From this initial approach that a person can undertake, one can come to the conclusion, a preliminary conclusion, that the study, the analysis, of equines is not just difficult or easy but versatile. This study is as versatile as the horse itself in terms of its ability to be the main actor in various sports disciplines, fieldwork, or alternative activities. On the other hand, it is not only possible to analyze, study the equine species by understanding the dynamics of each of these different scenarios or environments where the horse is the main actor or protagonist. That is, one way is to approach, analyze, or study the equine within the scope of racehorses or within the scope of jumping horses. Another way to analyze the horse is to understand and focus on aspects that are common to each of these different scenarios. It is important to consider that to understand this animal, as part of the goal or purpose of understanding it, this understanding of the horse will also depend on the purpose for which one wants to know or study it. It will not be the same to understand the horse from the perspective of a member of the armed forces, from the perspective of a horse caretaker, from the perspective of a racehorse owner, or from the perspective of a field worker, since each of these individuals will carry out a specific analytical exercise for their own interest. Similarly, the study of this animal will have a different focus if it is conducted by an equine veterinary clinician or a riding instructor, and in this way, we could find different interpretations or analytical approaches depending on the context in which such an approach or study is carried out. For all these reasons, for an optimal analysis of this species, it is much more decisive to find points or items that are common to the different scenarios or purposes for which horses are currently bred. However, it should be mentioned that there is another aspect that has not been mentioned so far. Taking into account that this analysis, or approach, that someone may carry out about the horse or any other animal will be done by a human being, an aspect that definitely influences this analysis or initial analysis that a person can make of the horse as a species is the same academic or professional background that the person conducting this analysis has. This will definitely partially or absolutely guide this analysis, because no matter how many aspects or items that are common to the different scenarios where the horse is involved are addressed, a certain orientation towards one of the equestrian scenarios corresponding to the field of training of the person developing any possible analysis of this animal will be generated. In correspondence with the above, it is easy to deduce that a correct and complete analysis of the equine species can be carried out by someone whose training has not been limited exclusively to a single field of knowledge, whether that knowledge belongs to the field of health, the equestrian sphere, the equestrian field, or the historical field. On the contrary, a comprehensive analysis for the study of the horse requires being formulated by someone who has acquired a wide variety of knowledge, with a wealth of experience accumulated on situations where the equine has played a leading role and who has the ability to integrate this diversity of knowledge. Among the transversal categories or items that can be considered as a basis for the study of equines, the evolutionary aspect, equine ethology, and the anatomical and physiological foundations of horses stand out. Other aspects such as breeding system, feeding, handling, training, and diseases turn out to be more specific within each equestrian activity scenario.